Hello, this is Tola from Trifle Productions with another Blender quick tip. And in this quick tip, I'm going to show you how you can apply Ivy to any model in Blender by using the Ivy Generator Pro. And it's free. It's a free add-on. But it's free with a bit of a catch to it. Let me show you what I mean by that. We open up the website here, and I'll leave a link of this below the video so you guys can download yourselves and check it out. But if you want to have it for free, you have to give the add-on a rating. If you want to help the developer, you can have or give them $8. That'll help them develop more add-ons like this. But you enter that amount here and click on I want this. And once you've downloaded that file onto your system, and by the way, it works in 3.5 for the most part. I'm using 3.6.1 myself, and it works great. It renders in Eevee and in cycles, and obviously cycles is better, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to use Eevee for the viewport. But once you've downloaded it onto your system, just install it by going to Edit, Preferences, Install, navigate to where you've downloaded it, and click on Install Add-on. And let me type in Ivy, and here it is, put check in the box and it's activated. And it's a very, very simple setup here. Here it is. Now, all you have to do is the process for applying Ivy, because Blender has its own Ivy system, but it's different. This is also different, but this is a little bit more straightforward. But all I have to do is click on the thumbnail, and click on that thumbnail, and what it does, it gives you this setup of different Ivy, and all these are different colors. Let's change our viewport so we can see what the colors look like. Let's click on our World tab to give us a better visual in terms of like the brightness on our models. Let's change the world settings here to make it a little bit clearer. And then we're going to click on that icon there. And then click on that one to turn off the options for choosing scenes inside of your viewport. But we have different colors. We have this evergreen color, reddish copper color, kind of a yellowish color, brown color, and a light kind of mint green color. Now I have to just pick one of these presets, and then we'll go from there because this is a bit of a twist to this. But let's turn this back on. So let's click the first one, the dark green color. And when you do that, you have options that appear underneath the thumbnail. And then once that's chosen, click in this option here, X, and click on the thumbnail and choose. You're going to choose the model that you want. You're going to choose this cube here. That's our first model. Left click on that. And then once that's done, make sure that this is still selected, because if this is not selected, you're going to have an issue with applying the Ivy to your model. Then press Tab, go into edit mode, and then click on your draw tool, and then draw your Ivy on your model. And it does it pretty well. Does a good job of applying Ivy to the model, which is cool. And then once you're done with that, and you're content with how your Ivy lays on your model, get out of edit mode by pressing Tab again. And now that's done. Let's press 3 on our keyboard. Click on that icon, and then we can see that the Ivy has been applied to the top of the model and to the sides. Now this is on a flat surface, which is fine, but let's see how it works on a curved surface. And now I've got Suzanne over here on this side. And the reason why I've pulled her all the way to this side, because if you have two models that are too close together, what the Ivy tends to do is it tends to spread over to the other model. So I've kind of pulled Suzanne over to this side. Let's click on that icon again to have our model selected. Let's click and drag a little bit over. But we have Suzanne here. We want to apply the Ivy to her. Now let's choose a different kind of Ivy. Let's choose this yellow one here. Left click on that. Once again, the same process. Click on this option here. Left click. Click on the thumbnail or the eyedropper thumbnail. Left click on Suzanne. And then make sure that once again, this stays selected. And once that stays selected, press Tab on your keyboard. Let's reposition our window. Tab on our keyboard. We get our pen tool there, our draw tool, which is still selected. And then draw on Suzanne. Yeah. And then get out of edit mode by pressing Tab. And now we have the same setup applied to her. Once again, let's turn that off. We can see the Ivy has been applied to her. and it applies or lays well on top of Suzanne. And your parameters for changing the way your Ivy looks is here. It's in more places than this, but this is the first option here. We can increase the size of the branches. Move this up to like 70. Enter. It gets the branches a little bit bigger. Randomize it here. Ivy branch in and out. Let's click on that and see what that does. Let's bump this up to 1. Enter. I don't know what that does, but that's fine. But there's other options in terms of the parameters for adjusting your Ivy. They're here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Now the branch size has been increased. If you want to make the Ivy more, this is where you have to do that. But be careful with adjusting this parameter, because obviously the more Ivy that's in your scene, the longer it's going to take for it to render. But if we bump this up to probably, let's say 4.4, enter, it gives us more Ivy on top of Suzanne. This changes the way the Ivy lays on the Z-axis. If we change this, you can see it gives the Ivy different positions along the Z-axis. So it doesn't have a lot of parameters, but this is Ivy, and you want it to look as generic and natural as possible. So the parameters that it has to offer is fine. I still don't know what this does, but it still looks fine. Now let me bring in a model that I've not made in Blender. I've already had that set up. Open recent, this one here. Let's not save that. We have a model of a man here, and we're going to see if the Ivy generator works on him. And let's go here, Ivy again. So we're going to click on Ivy, the same process, click on the thumbnail, click on that thumbnail. And the way it brings it into the side. Let's press through on our keyboard so we can see how it looks from the side. Now, for some reason, it brings in this extra plane, which I don't know what this is for. But it doesn't really affect the way the Ivy lays, as far as I can tell. It doesn't affect the way the Ivy lays on your model. So let's just pull this to the side. And let's turn him around so he faces us. Let's click on our model there. RZ90, enter. And now we're going to click the same process. Click on the Ivy that you'd like to use. Click on that parameter. Click on the eyedropper. Click on your model. Okay. We have our model chosen or applied in the slot there. Click on tab to go into edit mode. Click on our draw brush, and let's see if this applies to our model. Oh, and it does. Okay, so that's good. So the Ivy Generator Pro works on models that have not been made in Blender, so that's a plus. Let's get out of edit mode by pressing tab. So yeah, the Ivy Generator is a pretty good add-on. As long as you follow those steps that I showed you by clicking on the thumbnail, then the drop-down thumbnail, click on that, click on the preset, go into this parameter, delete the option that was there, click on the thumbnail, click on the model that you'd want to have the Ivy applied to, and once again, make sure that this preview or this preset is still chosen. Then press tab on your keyboard to go into edit mode. Then when you choose the draw tool, click on that, then draw on your model. As long as you follow those steps, you'll be fine. But for a free add-on, for it to do this much, it's not bad. So yeah, try it out for yourselves. I hope this was helpful for those of you that have watched. And remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, adios.